Yeah, so there are two things we want to talk about today, about tomorrow's exam, if anybody has a question, and also reflecting on the other two cases that we did in mock trial. So in Shivani, Raj versus Shivani case, people on the Shivani side, anyone present?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you believe? Should she get custody? Should she not get custody? In your own understanding, I'm not talking about for the purpose of exam. What did you think?
Ma'am, she should get custody.
Yeah, but why? What
Uh,
will be your strong, no, what are your weak arguments? What are your weak points?
Weak point was, ma'am, that she was living in a live-in relation. But again,
Why why do you think it's a weak point?
uh, ma'am, because they actually had that
Will it,
Indian.
okay, let me put it differently. Will it make a difference in your understanding of her claim if she was married instead of being in a live-in? If she
Uh,
had married another person, was living with him after marriage, will it make any difference in your understanding?
uh, yes, ma'am, because if अगर हम कोर्ट प्रोसीडिंग्स की बात करें तो हमारा स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट हो जाता है अगर वो मैरिड हो जाए तो, क्योंकि
नहीं,
फिर
स्ट्रांग हो जाता है कि तुम्हारा वीक हो जाता है?
अ, हमारा मैम स्ट्रांग हो जाता है अगर वो मैरिड हो जाए तो शिवानी, क्योंकि जो अपोजिट पार्टी है जो राज को
हम्म,
डिफेंड कर रहे हैं
हम्म।
वो मैम उसके कैरेक्टर वगैरह पे या फिर उनके ना रिलेशनशिप वगैरह पे क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकते फिर उतनी
हाँ, तो
इजीली।
उसने दूसरी शादी कर ली और नई फैमिली शुरू कर रही है, वो बच्चों का कहाँ देखेगी अब? तो हम ये कहेंगे ना, ऑन द अदर साइड, इजंट इट?
मैम बट ये भी कह सकते हैं कि वो इस रिलेशन को मतलब मैरिज उसने करके
हम्म।
एक मैंडेट दे दिया और अब ये उसको लॉन्ग टर्म तक करना चाहती हैं और बच्चों के भले के लिए किया उन्होंने।
हाँ, नहीं, बच्चों की भलाई इसमें कैसे हो गई?
मैम लाइक इट वाज नॉट अ टेम्पररी रिलेशनशिप, जैसे कैजुअल रिलेशनशिप नहीं था वो, मैरिज करके उन्होंने एक किस्म से।
So no, no, that means that you have an understanding that if somebody is in casual relationship, they are not fit parent to look after children. अगर वो
मैम इट
शादी
इज
करें तो ठीक है।
मैम एक्चुअली सिनेरियो इंडिया में ये स्ट्रांग है, इसको प्रूव किया
नहीं,
जा
मगर
सकता
बच्चे तो इंडिया में पैदा ही नहीं हुए। बच्चे तो इंग्लैंड में ही रहे हैं इतने साल से। जब से वो पैदा
है।
हुए
हाँ,
वहीं रह रहे हैं।
हाँ जी मैम, ये था हमारा स्ट्रांग पॉइंट था ये, और इस पे हमने बोलने का वो किया था कि उनका
हाँ।
कल्चर जो था वहाँ पे वो उसी हिसाब से था, तो अगर उनकी मॉम वहाँ रह भी रही थी ऐसे
हम्म।
तो वो हो सकते हैं, उससे अडेप्ट हो जाएंगे वो इजीली।
No, no, no. But for you to think that's a weak point, that itself is the starting point of conversation. Because somewhere, are we saying that this man, Raj Malhotra, has taken a vow that he is not going to marry again, he is not going to have girlfriends, he is not going to have any relationships? कहीं पे ऐसे उसने गारंटी दे रखी है?
हाँ मैम ये तो है।
तो फिर हम ये क्यों एज्यूम करके चल रहे हैं कि वो तो रह रही है, वो तो कभी रहेगा ही नहीं जिंदगी में किसी और के साथ में? और 2 साल से कौन देख रहा था बच्चों को? 2 साल से कहाँ थे पिताजी? When he was only enjoying weekend custody. He was enjoying the children when he had no office responsibility. The woman was looking after the children for long 2 years. जो पूरा का पूरा कहानी दूसरी साइड कह रही है, आप लोगों ने रिफ्यूट ही नहीं की कि वो वहां पे रहेंगे, उसके साथ में रहेंगे, वो क्या डे केयर में रहेंगे, यहाँ पेरेंट के साथ रह रहे हैं। पिछले 8 साल में कहाँ रह रहे थे बच्चे? डे केयर में ही रह रहे थे ना। 8 साल से पिताजी को याद नहीं आया कि अपने ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स को बुला लें इधर इंग्लैंड में? अचानक से उनको ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स याद आ गए। और ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स जो कि बीमार चल रहे हैं, फादर 65 ईयर्स ओल्ड, हार्ट अटैक उनको हो चुका है सीवियर, जिसकी वजह से वो हिंदुस्तान आ गए। तो जिस दिन पिताजी को दोबारा से अटैक हो जाएगा, तो मम्मी तो पिताजी की देखभाल करेंगी, आपके बच्चों को कौन देखेगा? आप तो देखते ही नहीं हो, ना आप ना दिल्ली हिंदुस्तान में देखते हो, ना आपने इंग्लैंड में देखा। हम तो सोच ही नहीं रहे ना, वी आर नॉट इवन थिंकिंग, वी आर नॉट क्वेश्चनिंग द गिवंस. Is anywhere the claim that he has been looking after the children, while it is apparent that the mother has been looking after the children all the while. Even at the consent decree, he didn't want to take responsibility of the children. Full time responsibility उसने तभी भी नहीं ली for 2 years. And whether divorce means that he has got control over her sexuality, he will continue to exercise control over her sexuality. That if she will not have affair, then she can have children. Otherwise, he'll take the children away. Have you asked that question? On her side, have we asked this question? Have we questioned this man? What has he been doing in the last 2 years? And it is not that he is supporting them. He is only 50% supporting. She is also supporting. So she is doing both economic contribution as well as emotional and physical contribution. What has he been doing? If he thinks that it is such a big thing in his life and in his moral values, that if she has gone into relationship, unmarried relationship, then he should approach the English courts. Why has he not gone there? And when he came back to India, there was a confusion in your presentations on on Raj's understanding. Anybody on the Raj side?
Yes, ma'am.
Jyoti, what is your understanding of Raj? When he left England on 10th, did he leave for good or did he come temporarily?
Ma'am, he did not leave for temporary basis because he wanted to be
परमानेंट पे गया, परमानेंट पे गया ना, तो उसने
Yes.
3 तारीख से लेकर के और 10 तारीख तक क्या किया? अपना बिजनेस से रिजाइन किया, मॉर्गेज का थोड़ा किया, जो कुछ भी उन्होंने जहां का जो भी वाउंड अप ना, he was very categorically planning to take the children away permanently. So it is not about the सुना और वो दिल्ली आ गया, फिर दिल्ली आकर के उसको लगा कि नहीं नहीं अभी ये तो पेरेंट्स इतने बीमार रहते हैं तो यहीं रहना ज्यादा जरूरी है. That's not how things worked out. He planned and plotted at that very stage. So it took 7 days. कोई घर ऐसे खाली अपना घर में भी सामान होगा उसका भी कुछ इंतजाम किया होगा, पैक किया होगा, बेचा होगा, यहाँ लाया होगा, कुछ ना कुछ तो किया ना. When he is moving permanently, it's not that he came to India and then realized that no, for him it will be in him and the children, it will be better for them to stay here. He was planning and plotting. And what is the reason for him to do this planning and plotting? The only thing that she is now living with another person. So can you allow him that decision making that she will not have sex with anybody else if she is a divorcee? Has he promised, no, whether it's of any consequence, even if he says, okay, मैं भी शादी नहीं करूंगा जिंदगी भर. Is it of any consequence in relation to the marriage of the children's custody, whether the parent will marry or not marry? And what he is claiming is constantly मेरे parents देखभाल कर रहे हैं, खुद भी नहीं कर मैं देखूंगा. I am looking after. He is nowhere claiming. So how is this kind of looking after by the grandparents is better off compared to जब तक 6 साल तक तो इनकी शादी में बच्चे थे ना, 6 years they had children together. Who was looking after the children then? Both of them are working people. बच्चे तो तभी भी चाइल्ड केयर में ही थे ना. So what are our strong points and weak points? We have to understand in the whole soul. Both of them are working. एंड वीकेंड किसी ने पॉइंट नहीं किया कि सिर्फ वीकेंड कस्टडी लिया कि जब ऑफिस नहीं होता है तब वो बच्चों को देखता है. ऑफिस के साथ में कौन देखता है? 2 साल से कौन देख रहा है उन बच्चों को? तो समवेयर वी आर सो मच स्वेट, हमारी जो अपनी मॉरल वैल्यू है कि वो लिव इन रिलेशनशिप में है. Could you not have argued that even in India today, legally we have recognized for purposes of domestic violence, live-in relationships? It's no more a taboo area in India also. People can take recourse. People in live-in relationship can legally take recourse to courts if there is a violence in that setup. So it is not, we are not antiquated to that extent कि हमने तो कभी सुना ही नहीं इस बारे में. हमने तो लॉ से रिकॉग्नाइज भी कर लिया. So which India are we talking about? India of today, where we have Domestic Violence Act, which protects living relationships, protects women in living relationships against violence. We're not applying our mind. We do not want to think 2020 India. हम कहीं 19वीं शताब्दी में अटके हुए दिमागी तौर पे, where there's a lot of moral value to this whole aspect of she in our living relationships. And this crosses out, na, if she did not inform him. If she did not inform him, वो बच्चों को कहाँ से लेके आया? उसके घर से लेके आया ना, जहाँ वो रह रही है अब. So she would have said, no, that I moved in here, please come and take your children on the weekend from this address. So how can anyone assume that she did not inform? She may not have taken her consent, but is consent required for her to decide where she will live? And if you think that it was a kind of a substantial change in the agreement तो लिखा तो नहीं कि हम शादी नहीं करेंगे, आगे से हमको रिलेशनशिप में नहीं रखेंगे, हम हमेशा अकेले रहेंगे, ऐसा तो कोई एग्रीमेंट में नहीं है डाइवोर्स डिक्री में. तो both the parties are free. And if she exercises her choice, where is the legal claim of the husband? And if he has a legal claim कि नहीं हमारे हिंदुस्तानी वैल्यू ये होनी चाहिए, let him approach the English courts. Why is he not approaching the English courts? That's where he filed a consent decree. No? So where is this responsibility, which is a big word in relation to children? It's a lot more responsibility. Where is it that the husband has shown responsibility towards the looking after the children in these 8 years of the elder child and 6 years of the younger child? Where is that? Did we hear Shivani's side of the story? What is her story? A story of toil and taking care of children all alone, especially in the last 2 years. And somebody made this assumption in some of the teams that she has moved in because of economic security. I mean, she's been providing for children 50%. This man is also only giving 50%. She doesn't need this man to provide security, maintenance to the children or for herself. How can we make that assumption she has moved into because she can't afford the rent? She was affording rent for the last 2 years. Was this man paying for the rent? Why did she move? Why did he not move? Why after marriages, women move all the time to the husband's places? Why don't the husbands move? We don't ask that question. No? So some things were taken for granted, and then even then we are questioning कि नहीं वो economic security की वजह से गई. क्यों भाई? From where did you get that idea? किस जमाने के lawyers हो आप लोग? I'm glad, this year compared to the last year, nobody asked the question, nobody made the suggestion that because she's a working woman, she can't look after the children, and therefore the children should be given to the father. The father is also a working father. वरना तो grandparents है ना, तो grandparents है तो सारी जिम्मेवारी grandparents की है. Is there any legal obligation on the grandparents to look after the grandchildren? Are they obligated by any law? आज देख रहे हैं कल को मना कर दें, can he enforce कि नहीं आपको देखना पड़ेगा? Where is the legal basis for this argument कि grandparent देख रहे हैं willingly तो इसलिए custody मुझे दे दी जाए? The hardship. So who has a primacy? No, वो कहते हैं balance of convenience किसके पास है? There is already a consent decree by the court. If he wants change in the custody, he should not logically go into the English courts and ask for it. By bringing them here, he is precluding the woman, the mother, from making a clear defense because she can't come here for every hearing. She has to go back in a week. So burden of inconvenience is put on her just by a sheer illegal act of the husband. We did not make any of these arguments. It was a half-hearted defense for Shivani because we are all so much burdened by the fact that she was in a live-in relationship. So what? What is the big deal about this live-in relationship? So many people in India now have live-in relationships. Now we have got, abhi to, we are still in the heterosexual relationship. If she had been proven to be, she had turned now lesbian, वो तो woman के साथ चलेगी, फिर तो हमारा तो बिल्कुल दिमाग ही बंद हो जाएगा. In India, we are having these cases where people are saying that marriages of gay, lesbian, and intersex people should be permitted, and we are still stuck on live-in relationship of this woman. I certainly thought there were lots of places where you could have raised questions, but we did not find. So one of the arguments was that the children are missing a paternal figure in the house. What a standard patriarchal argument. They don't miss a maternal figure when they have been brought to India. That's okay. If they miss their mother, that's all right. But they can't miss your father. What are we talking about? No, they're missing the paternal figure. अभी तो वो तो आहूजा कौन सा whatever that fellow was. क्या नाम था लड़के का? अजय खन्ना. So Ajay Khanna would have provided the paternal figure if you're talking about it. This man is not talking about any girlfriend or any other woman coming into life. So there will be no woman, no mother figure in their life. That's all right. When we made that argument, we were very categorically were still under, we had these patriarchal images. So somebody, I've noted this down. Shivani moved because she doesn't have independent source of income. From where did you get this idea? Which fact? If she's providing 50% towards the cost of children, maintenance cost of children, what make you feel that she's got no independent source of income and she's living off Ajay Khanna only? Where are those facts? Then somebody also said, the ex-husband is possessive, happy to see Shivani every week, but now that he has moved with Ajay Khanna, he can't move, he can't see her anymore. And is this an argument? He's divorced. He's still happy to see, he still loves her. What is this rubbish? From where are you getting this argument? That she wants to visit her and, now he can't because she's now living with Ajay Khanna. There was a good case law by some group. I've not noted down the name of the people. I've just noted down the points. So I do not know who did them, but there was a very good case quoted about that when the consent decree has not been, when it's a consent decree and not a decree passed on merit, then the matter can be considered on merit. But certainly, the counter argument to that one should have been that had she known that he was going through misuse, she would have claimed custody on merit also. But because he agreed, and one doesn't assume that he will go back on his own words. Yeah, so I've written that also, that daycare is not something which has happened only in the last 2 years. This must have been happening from the day they started. The children, whenever she would have resumed work, it would have been daycare only because he's not going to take leave. No men usually don't take, and he's not claiming कि मैंने तो छुट्टी लेकर के बच्चों की देखभाल की थी. He's not claiming anywhere like that. So nothing, it's a normal norm. The children will be in daycare. There will be a nanny or a daycare, whatever the system is. So he agreed to all that while he was there. While he was in the marriage, he agreed to it. While he was not in marriage, he agreed to it. He didn't say कि नहीं अब दिन में कौन देखेगा, आप तो ऑफिस जाओगी. नहीं, मैं देख लेता हूँ, मैं छुट्टी में जॉब छोड़ देता हूँ. He didn't offer. He didn't make any of those offers. 10th day was this argument. This is every year. Careless mother. 14, 15 days she was without children. She did not rush to India. What is the counter argument? Did any of the Shivani's lawyers say anything why she took 14, 15 days? And when did she file the complaint? उसने इतने दिन में कोर्ट में भी इतने दिन के बाद में गई. ये भी 3 तारीख से 10 तक आया तो आपने सवाल नहीं पूछा कि 3 से 10 तक क्या कर रहा था? His father was so seriously ill. He's an Indian citizen. He could have just got a ticket and flown to Delhi. Third, 7 days, what was he doing? Did we ask this question to any of the any of the students who played Raj Malhotra? What was he doing for 7 days? Planning and plotting. We didn't make the suggestion. So we are the Raj Malhotra side. Quite a many of them took this argument that she is a careless. She doesn't care for children. She doesn't care because she doesn't know where the passports are. And passport rules only now are saying the children will have independent. And I did look at that because once this question was raised, I did look up the rules. Just lately that it has been said that children will have independent passports. Otherwise, children's entries are made in the parent passport. So that's one angle that was minor. But the other one, that she took 14, 15 days to come to before she came to India. So what do you think she was doing in this 14, 15 days? Why did she approach the courts only after 7 days or so? What a reasonable, prudent mother would do in these circumstances when she learns her children have been kidnapped to India? What do you think? क्या सोचते हैं उसने क्या किया होगा?
She should have filed a complaint.
Straight away, next day.
Or probably inquire from her husband.
Normal वही किया होगा ना? It was a consent decree. It was kind of cooperative system कि ठीक है दिन में मैं देखूंगी weekends पे आप देख लो. It was a cordial relationship. They were not in non-talking terms with each other. So she would naturally first call him up and try to find out क्या हो रहा है, कैसे ले गए, क्या हुआ. शुरू में कहा होगा कि मैं ले आऊंगा वापस, फिर उसको झांसा दिया होगा कुछ में. Once she realized that he's taken them for good, then she approached the court. Simple explanation है. 5 days तो working days होते हैं. So she gets to know this on a Monday morning or Sunday night. I think Monday को गई है, 11th को पूछने गई है. So within a week now, तो petition भी तो तैयार करना पड़ता है. So first she'll try to negotiate with the husband कि बच्चों को वापस भेज दो. Ex-husband, when he didn't agree, then she filed. उसके बाद में realized कि तो मेरा जो court decree से तो बच्चे आने नहीं वाले हैं. I have to go to India. She must have applied for visa. She is not an Indian citizen. She needs a visa. So that very clearly explains the time which she has taken. First opportunity she has come to India. And she is staying, अपनी job से भी छुट्टी लेगी ना, मुझे पता है दिल्ली में जाकर कितने दिन रहना पड़ेगा. She'll make arrangements with her office also. She's a working woman. Just to make arrangements for the house. घर बंद करके आओगे तो कुछ तो इंतजाम करके आते हैं ना हम सभी जब जाते हैं तो. And going in certain uncertain circumstance. कि कोर्ट में जाके क्या देखना पड़ेगा, क्या वहां के कोर्ट में जाना पड़ेगा, पुलिस में जाना पड़ेगा, क्या करना पड़ेगा, कैसे बच्चे वापस आएंगे. कुछ लॉयर से भी बात करेगी उस दौरान में. She'll try to find out what are the options available to her. So whether these 2 weeks are not easily, reasonably explained to make it a persuasive story that she was not a non-caring woman and she is a working woman, so दिन में ऑफिस भी जाती होगी. One could have examined apply your mind in a practical situation. Think of yourself in her shoes. What will you do at that point of time if your children have been taken away? Like this in this scenario. आप नेक्स्ट फ्लाइट पकड़ के दिल्ली तो नहीं आ सकते ना जब आप इंडियन सिटीजन भी नहीं हो तो. आपके फेवर में कोर्ट दिख रही है तो आप कोर्ट ही जाओगे, वो गई कोर्ट. So there was very clear explanation possible, but I did not hear any of the Shivani lawyers make that explanation. And if it was your weak point, because अगर आप लगे दूसरा साइड में अटैक करेगी, आपने प्रिवेंटिव स्टोरी में क्या लगा के रखा? Where did your explanation? Shivani should have deposed on this aspect itself in her examination in chief. As I said, address the weak points on your side in the examination chief itself. We didn't do that. So we certainly needed to work a lot more. I'm not saying that you're not worked well. Some of your presentations, I could very clearly see where you were going, because your line of questioning, either in the examination chief or cross, would tell me clearly that where is your story. But some of them were just, you're not even getting your facts correct. और मैंने अगर बीच में सवाल पूछ लिया तो बोला बस इतना ही हो गया. बोलेगा लीडिंग क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछ सकते हैं तो बोलेगा अच्छा फिर हम पूछते ही नहीं है. But this was not expected of you. You should have rephrased your question. But perhaps you were not confident on that one. So some of you, not many, but some of you. Yeah, everyone asked this question. How you met has got no relevance whatsoever. Whether this was an arranged marriage or it was a love marriage or it was that they met in the university or that they met on the marketplace doesn't make a difference. So we said in the very beginning of this course, sifting of facts, sifting of relevant facts is important. Focusing on relevant facts is important. Unless you know what are the relevant facts. So anyone who has used this, how did you meet? Can someone explain why? What was your thinking? Why did you ask that question? How did you meet? And quite a many of you asked that question. So anyone will tell me, why did you think it was an important question to ask? I just want to learn that what was happening in your mind when you asked that question. You asked it because it's given in the facts. So that is the non-thinking lawyer explanation. क्योंकि facts लिखे हैं तो हम तो सारे facts पढ़वा रहे हैं. But what happened to the skill of lawyering, which we said sifting of facts? You should be able to highlight the facts which are relevant to the story and also present them in a manner which will go in your favor. ये दो बातें ना शुरू में कही थी ना. This is what we were looking for when you are doing examination chief and cross examination. That are you focusing on the facts which are important for your story? And especially in an exam situation when you have a limited time. So of course, none of you follow the limited time. And that's okay. We kind of resign to it that you are going to take longer. But unless you kind of understand why you need to establish this fact. What was important to highlight was certainly the terms and conditions of the consent decree, because that's where your arguments would have been. The Raj Malhotra side would emphasize there was a consent decree on the unsaid understanding that she was going to remain alone and look after the children. It was not expected that she will get into relationships and then move with children without even consulting me, without even informing me. So he could have argued and said, because of consent decree, we assume that the status quo, that both of them are single parents and they will remain single parents. It was with that understanding that I went into the consent decree. Other could have said that, no, he agreed. Once he has given the custody, there's no reference to whatever my sexuality or my sexual relationship with other people. So one could have used the consent. Both the sides needed to use the consent decree, but that was the consent decree is the starting point of the conversation. So you had not a very good marriage and we decided to end it. So what were the terms and conditions of the divorce? That's where the conversation should have started, because the other facts are agreed. Yeah, they met in the college, they married in the Hindu rite, all that is not. So certainly the Hindu rite ceremony would have been emphasized, certainly, and it was used also. Let's see, this is showing that Indian culture was still the norm. But then Shivani said that what is Indian culture today? Today in India, we recognize live-in relationships, even though for a limited purpose, but we've started to recognize we're moving in that direction. So one could have built up that story again. Okay, Varun Singha. What do you think are the weak points on? Okay, how do you know? Because the weakest point on what the other side? On Elizabeth's side was Winsoft. What is the weakest point on Winsoft? In Singer versus Winsoft, what is the weakest point in Winsoft?
That they enter into 3 years lock-in period after several rounds of negotiation. And Elizabeth was, at the first instance, was ready to sign the deed before visiting the property.
Why is that a weak point?
Ma'am, it shows like Elizabeth has had this preconceived notion that the property will be useful for all his business purposes, as she was ready to sign the sale deed without visiting it. And ma'am, like as it was clear from the facts that
No,
it
Mana, there are two
almost
things. No, you said two points. One, you said she entered into 3-year lock-in period. The second you said was she was ready to enter the property without seeing it.
yes, ma'am.
But the 3-year period, she entered into 3-year thing only after visiting, not without it.
Yes, ma'am. That's what,
So,
ma'am.
so
Like,
where is the importance of the first point of the second point that she was ready to do it without visiting?
like
Why
had
that?
had Mr. Varun had not insisted her to visit the property, then
Yeah.
this issue would have never, like this issue would not have been contended.
Look,
That the
Mana, no,
property,
Mana. If she had not visited the property as she entered into the contract, 3-year lock-in, then you could have said that she assumed the property was sufficient, but it wasn't. And if she had known the property had she visited the property, had she seen the defects in the property, she would have never agreed to the 3-year period. So that could have been an argument if you have made if she had signed the contract without visiting. But she visited the property. So the only point which can be emphasized by the fact that she didn't want to visit was she was desperate in need of a place, to the extent that she was ready to enter into a lease even without visiting. So that's the point which can be used by the other side. So if they make use of it in this manner, that she was so desperate. But then it was in July. The contract finally took September. So there were all these months of waiting. So this point also that she was in a desperate need of the property is cancelled out. We will say that no, if she would have been, she would have done it right away in July. She did the contract only in September.
yes, and
For
that's
me,
after
for
several
me,
rounds
for
of
me,
negotiation.
Madam, the weakest point in against them is that they gave two notices. One notice where they only mentioned the crunch of space, and then they said maintenance issue.
Yes, ma'am.
That is something needs to be explained. So why was it in the first place they gave space crunch as the reason, and then they gave the other one? How do you explain that? That is the from my perspective, that's the crux of the issue. So what is the explanation? Why did they mention the first one, and why did they did the second one? How do you explain that? On the other side also, what is the point you can attack them on? Varun Singer, Singer Corporation, whatever that title is. Now let's look at their story on the Winsoft side. What they said, we kept complaining about the problems we were facing in the building, but nothing happened. And we were so desperate to make it functional that even we installed the AC or whatever was needed to be done about that. We did it on ourselves. We did not even charge them. We didn't bill them. So how do you prove that they have been making complaints? There's a conversation of now Suraj is which side? Sunny Singh
Suraj
is
is the
on Varun
manager.
side.
Yes, yes.
So Varun, the Sunny Singh does say Suraj is a troublemaker. Because he's the one poor fellow who is on the ground and has been complaining कि आज पानी नहीं आ रहा, आज बिजली नहीं आ रही, आज AC नहीं चल रहा. So he's saying it all orally. That's why he's seen as a troublemaker. He keeps complaining. तो मान रहा है ना कि he's been complaining. Sunny Singh has accepted. So not only that Suraj objected to the space not being sufficient at the time of the signing of the lease, but also later on he kept complaining कि ये problems हो रही हैं. But of course they did not make a written complaint. But they were so kind of worked up, they were so much in need of the repairs that they did it in themselves, and because the Varun singer consultant were not responding at all, so therefore they didn't even charge them and decided to vacate the property. वे क्या करते हैं? And their understanding of the contract is simple. That breach of contract was because there were a very clear thing about. So there are two possible explanations of the breach of contract clause. One, so there are two things. One is the breach of contract, and there's a lock-in period. So whether lock-in period amounted to breach of contract. If that amounted to breach of contract, then we have very clearly the sum worked out that you will forfeit your security amount. That's the only penalty which can come. If that is not the penalty and this is not breach of contract, because if you say, because some of you did say this was a breach of contract, then we have a clause. But then there is also a clause which there's also a statement saying that there was no terms for liquidated damages. So now we are saying that breach of contract plus liquidated damages, but that's not how the thing works. So unless you say that breach of contract means that you will not maintain the building in the manner it has been given. So there was no consequence to follow for not fulfilling, for vacating the property before the lock-in period. That was our understanding, and we didn't want to have a legal hassle with the company. So हमने charge भी नहीं किया, इनके ऊपर allegation भी नहीं लगाई. We just wanted to move out in a civil manner. But then we realized that when we gave that, उन्होंने कहा नहीं आपको तो rent हमें 3 साल का देना पड़ेगा. Then we brought it on record that there had been problem, our real reason. So certainly there was a partial thing about the place not being sufficient, but that's not the primary reason, because we were making it function with our own maintenance charges. But then when it became impossible that we have a space crunch and ऊपर से आप लोग maintain भी नहीं कर रहे हो, so then we decided to leave the property. And in our understanding, there was nothing, no penalty to accrue if we did not follow the lock-in period. And we gave you 3-month notice कि ठीक है, we 3-month notice और reasonable notice है, वो हमने आपको दिया. 3 महीने की हम आपको adjustment भी, rent भी देने को देंगे. 3 महीने आपके लिए काफी है for you to find another tenant. So we were acting in a very reasonable, civilized manner when we gave you the first notice. But when we realized that you are going kind of legalistic, then we brought it on record. We would show you the expenses we have incurred on the maintenance expenses, which you were supposed to have borne. We have not charged you doesn't mean that those expenses were not there. And your manager itself is recognizing that my manager has been complaining to you, complaining to him. So manager never informed you about this. So just that you did not know doesn't mean the problem wasn't there. We did not write a written complaint, but there were complaints. You're going to build up on those stories. On the joint inspection, what is the importance of joint inspection? How do you use it? Anji, quite many of the teams did mention to the joint inspection. How do you use that fact?
Ma'am, from the plaintiff side, we can use that after they vacated the premises, even after that, we had some sort of communication with the defendant company, and we they agreed to visited the property as the they have raised a bogus claim that the space is the only issue. Space and the maintenance is the only issue. That's why we are vacating the property.
No, because on the defense side, you will say that we have maintained the property as it was given to us, and joint inspection shows that we have not deteriorated, we have not committed any breach of contract. The property was returned to them in the condition it was given to us. And the other party also agreed that it was in the same condition. So the same condition did not turn out to be satisfactory later on, because same condition, okay, how many tube lights you have, but are they functional or not? When they get fused, then are they replaced or not? These are things you will only get to know during the course of occupation. And certainly, which is the month they have moved in September. When did they visit the property first to see the property? Which month was it?
15th of July.
July में दिल्ली में बारिश होती है वैसे. So one could say that so one can use all these dates, ना? Okay, what is the weather in Delhi? हम कहते हैं non-legal material भी तो इस्तेमाल होते हैं. So what is the weather in Delhi? So maybe on the days you visited there was no rain. July में हो भी सकता है नहीं होती rains. So August, September is certainly more rainy now. पहले तो जुलाई में भी आती थी बारिश. So anyone, I'm just indicating to you that how do you look at the details of the facts which can be used. Which month was the inspection? So 3 months, negotiations were happening, which means that both the parties very astutely applied their mind to the terms and conditions. So terms and conditions are clear that there is a clause for breach of contract and there is a clause for lock-in period. So either lock-in period is breach of contract, or it is independent clause for which you will ask for separate damages. So you will have to be clear on your understanding of the clause. So if you say lock-in period was an independent clause, then the other party will argue, then Winsoft Corporation will argue that even though we did include this clause, very specifically, we mentioned no outcome if this clause is violated. If you say this clause is part of the contract and therefore vacating is amounting to breach of contract, then at best you can confiscate their security. That's the only possibility, no? To say that we will have both, we will confiscate their security as well as we will ask for now unliquidated damages. Well, then you need to have support. So you have to very clearly understand the terms of the contract. Whether the terms of the contract included lock-in period, therefore you have a clause which saying, in case of breach of contract, this will be the consequence, and just be happy with that. So you have to apply your mind to understand the facts first, and then you have to decide what can be the outcome, legal outcome of that case or of that scenario.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question regarding this.
जी.
मैम जो फैक्ट्स दिए हुए हैं मैम उस हिसाब से हम कभी प्रेज्यूम कर सकते हैं कि ये जो हमारा जो एग्रीमेंट हुआ था वो रजिस्टर्ड था कि अनरजिस्टर्ड.
Whether it is of any consequence legally speaking, अगर unregistered lease हो तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
तो मैम लाइक अगर अनरजिस्टर्ड लीज है तो इट विल बी लाइक मंथ टू मंथ बेसिस, तो हम उसको 15 डेज का प्रायर नोटिस देके हम टर्मिनेट कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, नहीं तो इसमें तो दोनों पार्टीज एग्री कर रही है ना कि हमने तो 3 साल की किया है, तो we will assume registered.
ओके मैम, लाइक मैम हम ये प्रेजम्पशन नहीं दे सकते कि इट इज एन अनरजिस्टर्ड लीज देन.
ना, बिकॉज आपने खुद ही 3 years का लॉक इन तो खुद ही कर रहे हो ना.
हाँ, यस मैम.
Logically it has to be registered.
Yes मैम.
Okay, so tomorrow we have the exam, client interview. You will all come here. Then I'll tell you the partner you have. Then you will go out of this room, of this meeting, establish contact with the other person, and do the interview 2 rounds with the same person. First, A will be the lawyer and B will be the client. And second round, B will be the lawyer and A will be the client. You will have to record both the conversations independently, 10 minutes each. Even if it goes longer than 10 minutes, we are not going to view it more than 10 minutes. Whatever you do in 10 minutes, that will determine your marking. तो आपने अगर 20 मिनट भी लगाए तो हम 20 मिनट की रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं देखेंगे. So it's better to be having your time frames clearly. So that's the first thing.
10 मिनट
You have
10 मिनट each में. मतलब
जी
20 हो गए टोटल. 10 मिनट
हाँ
वकील बन
टोटल
के
20 मिनट हाँ टोटल 20 मिनट हो गए. तो वो 20 मिनट में आपकी एक्सरसाइज खत्म है. उसके बाद में आप रिकॉर्डिंग का लिंक हमारे उसमें डाल दोगे, जो क्लासरूम का क्लास वर्क का जो लिंक है ना, जहां आपको ना भेजने हैं, वो लिंक भेजोगे. उसके बाद में यू विल ऑल सिट डाउन एंड रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन योर इंटरव्यू. वो क्या डॉक्यूमेंट है? क्वेश्चनर फॉर लॉयर्स. सो क्वेश्चनर फॉर लॉयर क्लास में आने से पहले आप लोग भरोगे, जो फर्स्ट पार्ट है. जो सेकंड पार्ट है वो आफ्टर बोथ द राउंड्स आर ओवर, देन यू विल सिट डाउन एंड फिल दैट अप. तो कितना टाइम आप लोगों को चाहिए वो क्वेश्चनर फिल करने के लिए? मेरे हिसाब से आधे घंटे से ज्यादा नहीं चाहिए. So which would mean that if we look at the total exercise by the end of the class timing around 3 o'clock, and we can give you some benefit कि चलो किसको इंटरनेट इशू होगा, ये इशू होगा, सारे इशू करते हुए, can we put 4 p.m. as the deadline for you all to have submitted a questionnaire for lawyer, filled up the second part? क्या सोचते हैं? ठीक है. And my sense is, no, I've said that you will also submit the second document also, case analysis. How many of you are ready with your case analysis? Case analysis has to be done on the same case which you have taken to the lawyer. To clearly understand the distinction between the two activities. One is, as a lawyer, you will write down your experience of the interview. What did you achieve? What did you not achieve? What, how successful you are? What जो से questions हैं, उसके मुताबिक, as a lawyer, you have to fill in your experience of the interview. As a lawyer, client interview over. Then you have to return back to the problem you took to the lawyer. जो आपके खुद ने, जो आपने की है या एक दो लोगों को मैंने दी है, जो वो प्रॉब्लम दी है, उसके ऊपर आपने केस एनालिसिस करना है. What is the legal claim? What are the evidence? What evidence can you procure in formal channels? What are the documents you will add intervention from another party? What would be the story on the other side? ये जो सारा केस एनालिसिस है, तो पहले आप उसमें फैक्ट्स लिखोगे अपना, उस वाले फॉर्म में जो आपका फॉर्म है केस एनालिसिस चार्ट का, फैक्ट्स लिखोगे and then you will do the analysis. So this could have been done before the interview also, can be done by tomorrow night. Do you think you can do it tomorrow night? Because I certainly know the students who have got it only today. तो 3-4 जो लोग आप हो, जिन्होंने अभी पिछले 2 दिन में आप जागे हो, वो तो certainly एक दिन में आप नहीं कर सकते हो. So what about the others? You think you are ready to submit your case analysis chart by tomorrow night, midnight?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's perfect. Then it's great. So then by midnight, you will submit the second form.
Okay.
So first chart by 4 o'clock.
मैम जो
The
फर्स्ट
second
फॉर्म है,
chart. हाँ जी.
मैम जो फर्स्ट फॉर्म है क्लाइंट इंटरव्यू वाला, वो
जी.
जो फर्स्ट पार्ट हमें इंटरव्यू से पहले भरना है, वो सबमिट तो हमें 4 बजे करना है ना, मतलब बाय 4 o'clock.
हाँ, सारा मिला के करना है. अगर आपको ऑनेस्टली अपने अपने सेल्फ असेसमेंट आपकी अच्छी होगी ना, आप खुद ही करोगे तो हमें इससे कोई फायदा नहीं होने वाले। जो सब एक्टिविटी करा रहे हैं आपके लिए करा रहे हैं, आपकी अपनी बेहतरी के लिए करा रहे हैं। इफ यू वांट टू रियली लर्न that where you made a mistake, it doesn't matter if you have made a mistake कि आपने ये सोचा था मगर ऐसा हुआ, doesn't matter, that's all right, but you must apply, because एक तो आपके दिमाग में क्लैरिटी होगी कि आपको इस इंटरव्यू में करना क्या है। if you fill up the first part before the interview, तो वो आज ही शायद देख लो एंड उसको तैयार रखो। बिफोर द इंटरव्यू यू हैव टू बी रेडी विद दैट फर्स्ट पार्ट फिल्ड अप। फिर इंटरव्यू कंडक्ट करो, उसके बाद में दूसरे दिन का इंटरव्यू कंडक्ट होने दो एंड देन go back to your form and fill up the second part, और वो आप 4 बजे तक मुझे भेज देंगे। उसके बाद में आप बैठ जाएंगे दोबारा से और अपना सेकंड चार्ट देखेंगे, केस एनालिसिस चार्ट। वो आप रात को मिडनाइट तक दे सकते हो। अटेंडेंस लगा देंगे।
मैम ऑल्सो मैम जो मूट मेमो है मैम वो वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट में ही देना मतलब कंपलसरी है? कैन वी सेंड इट इन
नहीं,
द पीडीएफ
पीडीएफ ये
फॉर्मेट?
तो कोई बात नहीं है, मतलब प्रेफरेबली वर्ड होने से ना मैं बीच में कमेंट लिख सकती हूँ अगर, पर इसका तो शेयरिंग होती नहीं है तो डजंट मैटर रियली। इसमें तो हम शेयरिंग नहीं ना करते, नहीं तो बाकी डॉक्यूमेंट हम शेयर कर लेते हैं कि हमने क्या क्या लिखा है, जैसे पहले जब केस एनालिसिस में किया था मैंने, बट इसमें तो नहीं होगा।
वी कैन शेयर इट इन द पीडीएफ फॉर्मेट।
या यू कैन।
थैंक यू मैम।
एंड स्पेशली जो हिंदी में लिखेंगे अगर कोई भी, वो तो 100% आपको पीडीएफ में देना चाहिए, बिकॉज आई कैन नॉट ओपन योर वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट इन हिंदी स्क्रिप्ट। देवनागरी में अगर लिखा है किसी ने भी तो वो नहीं होगा। वो आप टाइप तो करोगे देवनागरी में, मगर मुझे आप वर्ड में नहीं भेजोगे, वो आप मुझे पीडीएफ फाइल में भेजोगे।
मैम जो हमें नेमिंग करनी थी डॉक्यूमेंट की, उसके अंदर हमें पहले एग्जाम रोल नंबर लिखना है और फिर जो मतलब जो एग्जाम है वो लिखना है
हाँ, जो
ना?
मेमो है मेमो लिख दो, असाइनमेंट
ओके
असाइनमेंट लिख दो, सबके टाइटल दे रखे हैं ना, तो वो बस आगे लगा दो।
ओके मैम।
मैम ऑल्सो मैम रोल नंबर हमको एग्जामिनेशन रोल नंबर मेंशन करना है या क्लास रोल नंबर?
क्लास रोल नंबर मेंशन कर दो, मेरे पास एग्जाम रोल नंबर्स हैं आप लोगों के।
ओके
मैम जो मेमो है उसमें हमारा नाम आएगा या फिर रोल नंबर?
लिख दो कोई, क्योंकि हमारा तो सारा ये तो आपके नाम से एंट्री होगी ना, तो हमारे को आइडेंटिटी आपकी वो नहीं होती, हाइड नहीं होती। जब आप हमारे को डॉक्यूमेंट भरोगे, ईमेल से भेजोगे, तो नेचुरली आपके नाम के साथ ही आएगा ना, तो डजंट मैटर।
मैडम टाइटल पेज में भी
अटेंडेंस
नाम
लगा दिया आप लोगों ने?
मैडम
हाँ जी।
टाइटल पेज पे जो फ्रंट पेज है उस पे भी नाम और रोल नंबर लिखना है कि सिर्फ फाइल
हाँ
के
जी।
नेम में?
आवाज बंद हो गई पवन।
हेलो
सबने अटेंडेंस नहीं लगाई अभी तक? पवन की आवाज बंद हो गई। पवन अनम्यूट करो। पवन यू नीड टू अनम्यूट।
हेलो
हाँ जी।
मैम वी हैव टू राइट द नेम ऑन द टाइटल पेज आल्सो?
किसका नाम?
द नेम ऑफ द पर्सन हु इज सबमिटिंग द डॉक्यूमेंट। लेट्स सपोज आई हैव टू राइट पवन
आपके
गुप्ता।
आपके फॉर्मेट में क्या दिया है?
मैम उसमें तो रिटर्न है कि आपको टाइटल पेज पे नाम लिखना है अपना।
तो फिर पूछ क्यों रहे हो?
सर थैंक यू।
कोई और डाउट? एंड प्लीज बी ऑन टाइम टुमारो 2 o'clock। बस आपका जो ओपोनेंट पार्टनर है वो मैं आपको कल क्लास में आने के बाद ही लिस्ट डिस्प्ले करने वाली हूँ। फिर आप उस लिस्ट के हिसाब से अलग अलग अपने अपने आज सब लोग टेस्ट कर लो इंडिविजुअली, ईच वन ऑफ यू, दैट हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू रिकॉर्ड। जैसे एक का सेटअप ना चले तो दूसरे का तो चल जाए। ईच वन ऑफ यू find out, work out how you are going to make a recording. Do we have Sushil Chauhan today? No.
हेलो मैम।
हाँ जी।
मैम फोन में स्क्रीन रिकॉर्डिंग करने से वीडियो तो आती है बट आवाज रिकॉर्ड नहीं हो पाती।
नहीं नहीं, तो आप सिर्फ आवाज रिकॉर्ड करो, वीडियो मत रिकॉर्ड करो।
ओके मैम।
हाँ, क्योंकि हमें तो सुनना है ना, सुनना
ओके
और
मैम।
देखना प्रेफरेबल है, पर अगर देख नहीं सकते तो कम से कम सुने, मगर सिर्फ देखने से तो हमें सुनना नहीं पता चलेगा कि आप लोगों ने क्या बातचीत की।
तो मैम फिर आवाज रिकॉर्डिंग सिर्फ करनी होगी तो सिर्फ कॉल पे हो पाएगी, हम कॉल पे कर सकते हैं
वो
जब
आप
वो
देख लो
करेंगे।
कैसे करोगे, वो सब आप लोगों को टेक्नोलॉजी पता है मुझसे ज्यादा।
ओके मैम।
हाँ,
मैम केस एनालिसिस के लिए कोई वर्ड लिमिट है?
कितने नंबर का एग्जाम है?
हम 10।
10।
10 मार्क्स है ना। हाँ, तो अब तो आपका तो चार्ट बना हुआ है, उसमें कितना वर्ड लिमिट लिखोगे? चार्ट है ना आप लोगों का, चार्ट का
यस मैम।
फॉर्मेट फॉलो करना है।
कैटेगराइज किया हुआ है।
हाँ, 750 तो हमने जब बाकी का असाइनमेंट में 750 का ऐसे ऐसा अपने ऐसा हमने कोई लिमिट फिक्स नहीं की है, बट इट कैन नॉट बी 20 पेज ऐसे 10 मार्क असाइनमेंट।
ओके।
हमारा बहुत बारंबार एम्फेसिस है, इट इज नॉट द क्वांटिटी ऑफ योर आंसर, it is the focus of your answer. It is the appropriate, correct information in your answer which gets you marks. So all set for tomorrow? Shall we stop recording?